up, Disney Nuts here? How you guys doing? So you can see today we're at Animal Kingdom, but we're going to be jumping other parks because we want to test out the cinematic mode on the iPhone Pro 13. Now to enable the cinematic mode on the phone, it's really easy. Just open up your native camera app and scroll until where it says cinematic and you're ready to go. On this first scene here, you can see I'm standing pretty far away from where these birds are and nothing much is happening. Actually, everything looks in focus. You can see maybe a little bit of the girl turns in focus with the guy, but nothing much happening here. Now on this second scene, I actually use my telephoto lens, and you can see it does a little better on determining where it needs to focus. And you can see the guy on the bottom right and the girl on the left as I pan around as it focuses a little bit on them. But notice how it does not do any type of focusing on the birds. Actually, I leave it there for a little bit. But yeah, it's only on humans, which is pretty cool. Now on the next scene here, I actually I put a statue and I'm pretty close, not too far away like the first one, and you can see how it cannot focus. It doesn't seem to, I guess since it's not moving, it's not doing anything, it doesn't really think it is a person. But when I pan to the right, it does be able to focus on the photographer and the crowd on the back. Now here I did another one with the telephoto lens. I'm shooting these two guys who are driving around on the boat. They're celebrating here, and it focuses pretty well on them, to be honest with you. Pretty cool. Okay, now we've seen how the cinematic mode doesn't really work too well when it's stuff that isn't like very close, as well as something that is not a human. So we're gonna go ahead and try using the cinematic mode here on my friends here at Pandora. Let's see how the camera reacts to it. Now, according to the documentation on the Apple site, what it's trying to do is using its calculations, is trying to see which one has the most activity. And obviously, since these are objects that do not move at all, they just basically, it just doesn't focus on any of them. Now here, I did use the telephoto lens and I'm tapping on each individual one. So I'm basically forcing the cinematic mode here because it doesn't focus automatically on those items. And then here, I'm just doing a test with the objects in front and one to the back, and it focuses perfectly. No problems here whatsoever, so pretty cool. Now one of the cool things of cinematic mode is that you can actually go back and edit the focus points and even the depth of field of the video that you just took. For example, here on the top left you see is f16. I can bring it down to f2 if I want to, and it will automatically regenerate the video doing that fake bokeh throughout the software. And you can see here its highlights as well where it's using the focus. In this case you can see that yellow square, and the other alternatives are the one that are in gray in the background. It's really cool, to be honest with you. It does a really cool job, and it's really awesome because it's using that A15 Bionic chip to do all this advanced computation, which is why it's only available on the iPhone 13, and you can go back and edit it and all that fun stuff. So it's really cool, to be honest with you. Now one downside that it does have is that the videos that you're recording is actually at 1080. You can't do 4K, at least not at the moment. It'll probably come up in the future version, I'm sure. And what I do like a lot is that when you look at the files themselves on the phone, it actually generates two files. You got one file without any of this bokeh effects or computation or depth of field calculations, and then you have another one with the E in front, as you can see here, that has all the goodies in it. Okay, so let's watch this stuff side by side, which is pretty cool. As you can see here on the top left, the piano player, the yellow box around them, which is what the iPhone's doing here in the background, which is pretty impressive, to be honest with you, how it's automatically detecting which one's doing the most movement and where to point that bokeh and that focus. In this case, in the parade, it didn't do that well, although it did lock in perfectly on Tiana when she's taking the corner, and it tracks with her, as you can see, as it moves along. But I guess because of the distance that I'm at, Belle wasn't able to, it didn't seem to find Belle as well as the other two. In the case, Cinderella tracked her just for a split second there. But it does do well, the effect on the phone, and to be honest with you, it's pretty impressive what it's doing. Now, something very important that I want to say, that let's say that you want to edit the file after you already copied it to your computer. So logical thing would be that you would probably try to copy it back to your phone. Now, something that I did notice, that me using Google Drive, it actually lost that information to be able to edit the file. So looking at the website, it says that if you want to be able to edit the file afterwards, you moved it around, you got to use Apple iCloud or AirDrop. In this case, you don't lose all that information regarding the settings that you've done to the file. But besides that, it's a pretty cool feature that the phone has, and experimented with it. As you saw, it only works really good on humans and if they're moving, because that's what the chip is doing. It's actually looking to see which is the person who's moving the most and then focuses on there. And it looks like it works really good when it's actually stuff that's pretty close to you, not farther away, unless you're using the telephoto lens. Okay guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video about cinematic mode here at Animal Kingdom as well as Magic Kingdom, and home base where we are now. If you like these videos, feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell and get notified of future videos that we'll be making here regarding photography and all the other fun stuff. Until then, this is Nuts checking out. Stay awesome. See ya. Bye.